Hello everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new here. As you can see from the title, today we're going to be doing my solo mom night routine as a mom of two. Now our nights are never the same. My husband, he works a lot, so sometimes he's here, but most nights it's just me. The evenings are usually harder for me, not only because I am doing it alone, but also my kids always catch a second wind in the evening, and I don't know what it is. Maybe witching hour is a real thing, but by 5 o'clock, they're off the walls when I am about ready for bed. So I hope you guys enjoy this very real, raw nighttime routine, and let's get into it. As you saw in the beginning of the video, we started off with Ariel having her gymnastics. That was pretty earlier in the day. She does gymnastics every Tuesday and she has been doing amazing. Once we get home and settled, it's usually between like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I will use this time to sit down with the kids and we will do some sort of sensory play. So we will either color, we will paint, play with Play-Doh. I also use this time to read to the kids as well because I used to read to them right before bed, especially Ariel when she was a baby. I would read to her every night, but I recently found that they stopped really being interested in when I read to them right before bed. So now I use this time to read to them, and they are really interested in the books and they point to the books, they repeat after me. As you can see here, Ariel is really interested in reading the books. Enzo is still at that age where he is not really caring about what's going on. Sometimes he'll look over and try to interact with us, but this is really just mainly the time that I really do a lot of one-on-one with Ariel as much as I can. I obviously like to include Enzo as much as I can, but again, it's really just for Ariel. We usually spend anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour doing this. It honestly depends. Each night, like I said, is different. Once it hits about 5:30, 5:45, this is when I will really start to wind the kids down and start our night routine. So now this is the time where I will actually separate the kids and put them into their own separate area to have some of their own independent playtime. So I am sitting Ariel at the table and I'm giving her some kinetic sand. She needs to be going, moving her hands constantly. So I find giving her something that she's constantly doing something, it kind of keeps her busy a little bit longer. And then I am putting Enzo in the living room, I'm putting the gate up, and I'm putting on Miss Rachel for him and giving him some more of extravagant toys that he doesn't get all of the time, which I did not show here, but he's in the living room and he is fine. I can still see him. So I do this just so I can kind of get dinner cooked and prepared and hopefully done in this amount of time that they are sitting being busy. For dinner tonight, we are having shake and bake chicken and noodles. Now, since we are on the topic of food, I will bring up the things that I kind of feel about food and children. So my kids are not the greatest eaters. They are pretty picky. And yes, I did baby-led weaning with both of my babies. I was pretty strict on that when they were babies. I started them right at 6 months old and I fed them everything under the sun. They hit 100 foods, if not more. And honestly, they ate so much. When they were babies, they ate literally everything. And then they both hit 1.5 and they kind of started to not like literally anything. Even chicken nuggets and french fries. Yeah, they will not touch that either. Now, because my kids are picky does not mean that I am only going to make them the same 3 foods all of the time. I do still make anything and everything, and I will always make my kids try it at least once. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to make things that they don't like. If I know they don't like it, I will either not make it or I will make something separately for them. Now, I don't always make every single person in our family something different for dinner. What I make for dinner is what we're eating. I just mean by I'll make them something separate if they don't like one side course. So, like, my kids don't really like rice that much. They mainly like noodles. So if I'm making rice that night for my husband and I, because obviously we're not going to eat everything that my kids are going to eat, but I know that they don't like rice, so I will make them something else. So we'll make noodles, or we will make mac and cheese, or really anything that I know that they are going to eat, because I know they're not going to eat the rice. I never want my kids to have a bad relationship with food, so granted, I do give them their comfort foods, but I do also serve them foods that they have never tried before, just so we can kind of open up their palate just a little bit. At this point, it's about 6:30. We are plating their foods. I am having Ariel clean up the table. I'm having Enzo clean up his mess as much as he can. We are serving and we are eating. My kids do drink water all day long, and I am so thankful that they like water enough to do that. But as someone who would get sick and tired of water all day long, I do allow my kids to have juice at mealtime, but don't worry, I do water down my son's juice. Now, I do give my kids a bath every single night. People are kind of iffy on this. I don't wash them every single night, but I do put them in the warm bath every night. I think the warm water helps really soothe and calm their bodies. Not only that, but I am a firm believer on kids thrive off a routine. My daughter especially, she doesn't like surprises, and she really needs to know what she is about to do. So having the same schedule and the same routine every single night really helps her, and it prepares her for what is coming, so she knows what comes next and she is never caught by surprise. Now, once I get them all kind of settled in the bath, I will actually use this time to clean up the house. I will finish eating my dinner that I most likely didn't eat while my kids were eating, and I will also prepare my husband's plate for when he gets home. This particular night, he was only working until 11, so I obviously wanted him to have food for when he got home from work. I will also feed the animals. I'll let Mossy out one last time before bed, and then I'll just go around and I will clean up anything off the floor. I will pick up the toys, do the dishes if I have time, just making sure that everything is really nice and clean. I do really think that bedtime goes much smoother in a clean house, and I don't know about you, but I cannot go to sleep in a dirty house. I feel like I will just wake up and just be in a complete mood if my house is not clean. I like to reset the entire house so that way in the morning I am not waking up to a sink full of dishes, toys all over the floor. I am waking up to a nice, fresh, clean house, ready to get a mess again. Now, before anybody comes for me about leaving my kids unattended in the bath, they are not unattended. I check on them every single minute. The bathroom door stays wide open, and my daughter is very smart and very safe being in the bathtub with my son. Now, if it was just my son, I would absolutely not do this, but my daughter, like I said, is very smart and very safe with her brother in the bathtub. She does know how to swim, and she does know the very, very, very important safety skills of being around the water. Now I know anything can happen in a split second, so that is obviously the reason why I am constantly in there checking on them. But I promise you guys, they are not in the bathtub for 20 minutes by themselves without a parent around. If you cannot tell, my house is literally 500 square feet. I can touch them from the kitchen. So after their bath, we do always lotion both of the babies up. I have been putting steroid cream on them these last couple of nights because we are in the colder months, and unfortunately my kids have extremely bad eczema especially Ariel. She does not like the steroid cream literally at all, but unfortunately it's the only thing that kind of calms it down around this time. And then as you can tell, we are all in our PJs, so we made it into the bathroom and we are now doing our nightly hygiene routine. My kids actually like brushing their teeth, thankfully, because I know some parents have a little bit of a hard time with their kids, but I honestly solely believe that my kids don't have that hard of a time because I started brushing their teeth when they were extremely young, like way before they even had teeth, and I honestly swear that that helped them. I realized watching this back that Ariel was making some funny faces during this, but I promise you guys, she really does enjoy brushing her teeth. I just don't know what she was doing. With her, I will allow her to brush her teeth herself, but then as you can see, I will go in and I will do it again, just because I want to make sure she's getting every little corner and crevice in her mouth, so we keep all of those cavities away. They do both get their vitamins every single night. We currently are taking the little critters ones, but I honestly heard that the Flintstones ones are better. So let me know what kind of vitamins you guys give your children. My son is already taking an iron supplement because he is anemic. So it is a little harder for him because you don't want to give babies too much iron, but I would love some recommendations. At about 7:30, we start to lay down and get ready for bed. Enzo does still drink milk before bed, not in a bottle, and I don't allow him to bring his cup to his crib with him. So I will let Ariel lay on the couch and either watch her tablet or watch the movie with us, and I will rock Enzo while he drinks his milk. I don't rock him to sleep. He does fall asleep in his crib on his own, which I am so grateful for. But I do want him to drink all of his milk before he goes to bed because that's where he gets most of his calories from. So we'll just kind of sit in the chair for like 10-15 minutes until he's done with his milk. I'll place him in his crib and I will walk Ariel to her room. Sometimes she will fall asleep in that time on the couch, other times she won't. It kind of all depends on like her. Now that the kids are in their rooms, I will use this time to get myself ready for bed. So I will do my skincare, I will brush my teeth. Sometimes I will shower, but this particular night I didn't have to. I will also use this time to edit any videos I need to edit, maybe watch a show. This particular night you will see that I chose to edit a video. It's really the only time that I actually get to sit down and edit my videos. Unfortunately, I'm just so busy during the day with the kids. It's honestly crazy. I cannot find time to edit. Even during Enzo's nap time, I am doing something, so I am always editing right before bed. After editing for probably far too long, I will make my way to my room and I will either journal or read my Bible. Now, these are actually new things that I recently incorporated into my nighttime routine. My therapist thinks that they are just going to help me kind of release and cope with that anxiety that I have before I go to bed. I do hate to admit that I don't actually do this every night before I go to bed, but I do really try to do it as much as I can. So that is my Soul Mom night routine. As a mom of two, every night is slightly different, but for the most part, like I said, my kids really do thrive off of having a routine. But I just want to take a quick second and I just want to say thank you to all of you for your continued support. And if you're new here and you stayed until the end of the video, definitely subscribe because we would love to have you over here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not yet already. I love you guys so much and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.